What a performance. What a win. Look, I'm happy. I'm not actually saying what performance, what a win, by the way. That was just me being sarcastic. FYI. But I very much enjoyed watching that training game from Manchester United. An absolutely deserved 2-0 win. Yeah, but we should have won that game. 3, 4, arguably 5-0. Man United, totally dominant. Man United didn't have any pressure on us. And Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho, FA Youth Cup winners, both coming through into the first team. Last season was about the breakthrough of Garnacho. And by the way, this season is the development of Garnacho. On the right, great. This season was the breakthrough of Mainoo. And it's great to watch those two. For me, they're the two highlights from the game. 2 goals, one from Delo, lovely at finishing from outside the box, and a second goal to clear it up, really. Was it a penalty? No, not really. I'd be pissed if that penalty came against us, but there was a touch. He maximised it, but look, United totally dominant in that game. Totally dominant. My prediction was 4-1, and it probably should have been 4-5-0. Really and truly. 33 shots, but my word, he loves a little curler from the outside the box, doesn't he? Delo, something I want to say about the fact that Ten Hag took Delo off there towards the end, I think is kind of going to show the importance that he's got in Ten Hag's mind for the inverted fullback position. I think he probably plays that inverted role better than anybody we've actually got in the squad, Shaw included. And it's so frustrating that we don't have that same threat down the right-hand side. Because Wan-Bissaka just doesn't do it. Because Delo, maybe it's because they've tactically just said that Delo's got to stay that far forward. But anyway, it was a cracking goal from Diogo Delo. But it was a game, again, unfortunately, where we're talking about frustrations. We're talking about the fact that Manchester United had 33 shots. Rasmus Hojlund clearly is a man right there who is still struggling with confidence and a lack thereof. Because in particular, for me, it was the header from the Garnacho cross on the right-hand side. Man, the movement from Garnacho tonight. But the cross from Garnacho, the movement from Hojlund, perfect. And I think Ian Wright said it well at half-time. You just got to put your forehead on it and just, he said, punch it into the goal, which I thought was quite a cool way of describing it. But he didn't. He kind of put his head down, hit top of his head, hit the bar. And the second one, as I thought, was a little bit unfair. But he's definitely a man who's still struggling with confidence despite the Villa goal. But a player who really is not struggling with confidence right now. Man, Garnacho. As I said, last season was about the breakthrough of Garnacho, the excitement of watching this player come through the academy and the excitement that brings. But this season, there has been such a development in his game. I think this is worthy of a video unto itself. His tracking back, I remember, what game was it? Was it Arsenal? There was a game where I really remember him doing it. Was it Galatasaray away? Not sure which one. Maybe Everton? I don't know. It might have been Everton. But in particular, these last couple of games, against Forest, against Villa, and now here, against Wigan, I had to think about that for a sec, Garnacho is impacting that game from the right-hand side more than Anthony has and more than anybody else has on that right-hand side combined all season long. There was one moment in that first half, you know his chance, Viva Garnacho. There was one moment in that first half where he was right tight to the byline. It looked like he had no space to get past. But he just dinked it into space, went round a Wigan player and just couldn't be caught. His confidence is developing and his final product too. That lovely turn and cross for Hojlund, he should have scored. He's just a threat. He is a menace on that right-hand side. And I'll tell you what, Rashford I'll speak about a little bit later, but a goal and 2 assists in his last 3 games. And I don't think he's been particularly great, but Rashford's starting to sort of get the wheels in motion. But Garnacho was fantastic. I think Garnacho stole the show for me, personally. No, sorry, Mainoo stole the show for me, personally. It's only Wigan. I know what people are going to say in the comments. They're fine, but it's just, it's just watching him. It's just, he carries himself differently. He carries the ball differently. I don't know how to describe it, really, if I'm being totally honest, but it's just the natural grace with which he plays. And touch it, there was that touch that he had to create a shot for himself even, was fantastic. But Mainoo, whether it was covering his defence, whether it was connecting the midfield, whether it was winning the ball twice after the ball was lost and McTominay lost it, Mainoo wasn't under any pressure tonight, but he's shown, away at Anfield, away at Everton, away at Galatasaray, that he can The pressure isn't something that makes him crumble. Mainoo is special. And these two right there are special. And for me, that's the biggest takeaway from tonight. You know, you can't get that overhyped to get a 2-0 win over against Wigan in the FA Cup third round. But I can get excited about the thought of what this Manchester United team is going to be looking like a little bit further down the line, right? Kobbie Mainoo is 18 years old. And Alejandro Garnacho is 19 years old. They both won the FA Youth Cup only, 18 months ago? I can't remember. Right about that. And look at them now. Into the first team. And in my opinion, they are first team starters when every player is fit in this squad. That's how important they are. Garnacho, for sure, is an absolute starter. And in my opinion, Mainoo is. Now, there may be games where Erik Ten Hag sort of slowly... I think Ten Hag has managed their growth into the first team really, really well. Garnacho, when he took him on the pre-season, he left him out because he was late and he was teaching Garnacho lessons. Garnacho is developing. He's just had a baby. He's maturing. And he's becoming a really important player for United. Really important. And so is Mainoo. And that's definitely the biggest positive. Bruno getting a goal. I think that's his first goal since like November. Despite the fact that he's been influencing games, he hasn't been getting the direct goals and assists. I'd be pissed if that penalty was given against us. But the defender shouldn't go down. There was a touch there, and Bruno maximised it. Yeah. Good penalty, though. Really good penalty. And as I said, Marcus Rashford is he was threatening pretty much the whole game. Still doesn't look as, in my opinion, light on his feet. Confident with his touches. Ability to drive past a player still isn't quite there, not even against Wigan. Rashford will continue to improve. But with 2 assists and a goal in his last three performances against Villa, Forest and now Wigan, he's impacting games. And with Garnacho playing that good on the right-hand side, it's good to see Rashford starting to deliver something from the left. Now, something that I can definitely get excited about that I saw there tonight was this. Dave Brailsford in the crowd, of course, who is likely to be Manchester United, I think, new chairman. The roles aren't actually clarified yet, but I imagine it's going to be something like that. Jean-Claude Blanc, who will be our new CEO, sat there with David Gill. And who better to learn from than the man who was by Fergie's side for so long? Probably the best director, if you want to call it that. What was actually David Gill's role? I think it was a director. Certainly a man that they can learn from. But that was a game there tonight where Erik Ten Hag just needed his players to do the job. And Man United did the job. We made it hard for ourselves. Really hard for ourselves. The biggest chance for me was probably the Hojlund header. But Hojlund had a couple. In my opinion, as long as my striker is continuing to get into the right positions, I'm not too worried about the fact that he's not scoring. And that's because I'm definitely giving him grace. Because it's his first season and I want him to shine, man. Look, he's 20. And he's nowhere near the full-rounded product yet. And the fact is, right, playing for United, I think Ten Hag said it before the game, playing for United brings a whole different level of pressure. And it really, really does. And I think you're still seeing it with Hojlund. But these two lads here, at 18 and 19, younger than Hojlund, Mainoo in particular, actually, no, not Mainoo in particular. Both in their own styles, their own personalities come across in how they play. Garnacho, give me the ball. Let me take a player on. Stardust to his game. Panache. Kobbie Mainoo is all about oozing control and composure and just like a metronome, just making the game tick. That's what I loved about watching Mainoo tonight. But yeah, we beat... By the way, Eastleigh or Newport in the next game, capacities of something like 7,500. Those tickets are going to be like gold dust. And it's to be able to see United in such a small venue like that would be awesome if you get the chance, if you get the ticket. But yeah, for me, man of the match, I'm going to give it to Kobbie Mainoo. You could easily give it to Garnacho. I think it was given to Delo. Cracking goal from him. Decent enough performance from United. We had complete pressure and domination. We should have made that a lot easier. But it's 2-0. It's a win. Job done. Fourth round of the FA Cup. Here we come.